I think what I enjoy the most is that everyone is seeing Chicago in a better light. And this is an absolutely gorgeous city, so I'm hoping everyone just appreciates where they live because there's just so much beauty. My name is Barry Butler. I'm a photographer here in Chicago, greatest city in America, and I love shooting it every day. It got started by accident, quite honestly. I was playing hockey and I ended up shattering my collarbone in 1,000 pieces, and I was told I couldn't do anything for 8 months. So I said, okay, I'm bored. I only have one arm to work with. Ended up getting a camera, a tripod, and then a bunch of books and magazines and taught myself photography. Started just taking shots, and it wasn't in Chicago. It was, I was always traveling the world, and so especially going back to Ireland because I have a lot of family there. I think the thing that I try to do first of all is I'm trying to capture a moment that can't be replicated. So that's why I'm always looking for clouds and interesting context to the sky. It's a puzzle that I put together every day. Obviously I need the weather to cooperate in what I do, but when I'm driving around or walking around, I'm always framing. So just always looking for something different. How the Chicago part came about was I would practice here for when I would leave to go somewhere else. And so what ended up happening was social media kicks in and I'm posting my Chicago shots. I think that was like 2007, 2008, somewhere right around there. Just posting on my own personal page. And then, I just started getting a lot of attention and then I started my own photography page, and it just kind of took off from there. Little did I know that I was starting to basically fall in love photographically with Chicago, and the rest is history. It's a little awkward at times, right? Because I shoot for myself. I'm not shooting for anyone else, but it's great when people like it. A couple of different ways that I operate. One, I have a calendar where I know the sun or the moon is going to be, and so that's kind of my start. And then after that, because the weather changes quickly, and most weather forecasts are probably good 24 hours out. So when I get to the day before, that's when I really start working my, how's this going to look? What's my vision? I'm really just trying to say to myself, what would be of interest and where someone says, boy, I wish I was there. And that's really ultimately what it comes down to. If I was to say, what does it mean to me for the person who is viewing my work, like they sit there, God, I wish I was up that morning. That's another thing I often hear, like, well, I'm glad you got up to take that shot, I was sleeping. One of the compositions that, or moments that were really special to me is the one where I call it Autumn Afternoon. And I had planned the shot and I was looking for the sun to light up the colors. Chaos was kind of happening in front of me, so I had to change my composition, and all that chaos turned into a great shot. And I just learned to, again, be patient, to be able to pivot, and to have some hope. So I kind of use that photo and that moment as a lesson for not only my photography, but just life in general. Like, chill out, things will work themselves out, have a little faith. The advice I think I would give to anyone, whether they're into photography or whatever, it's really easy to go to the negative. And how do we find the positive? And there's tons of it every day. Even when it is the worst time, like I love winter. I celebrate, believe it or not, a polar vortex. I love when it's minus 55 degrees. That's a great day because, boy, talk about the look of the city. I can find some beauty in that. So, no matter the situation, no matter what's going on in your life, there is something positive and you just got to go find it. And that's what I try to do every day.